93 Boxing, I'm back with a quick video. Deontay Wilder apparently has refused a $3 million offer from Dillian, a fight against Dillian Whyte. And apparently his 900K payday was his last payday. So I want to get my thoughts on it. Given that he got paid 900K in his last fight, he probably should have taken the $3 million fight. It's not like he's got any bigger fight coming up. He's not got any better opposition coming up. So I feel like he should have taken the fight. I mean, that's my initial thoughts at least. You know, it kind of reminds me of Conor and Brook. I felt like Brook was going to get paid more than he did against Triple G. And yet, he didn't take the fight. Now, the fight did fall through because it was a 70-30 split. And, you know, I thought the 70-30 split was fair. I gave my reasons on it. I don't want to go repeat myself. But, you know, the main thing was, I felt like Amir Khan was the A side. Whether he was more liked, because Khan's no more liked. He's definitely more hated. I'll definitely make a video on why he's more hated. I'm going to go hard on that. For sure, I'm going to go hard on that. Why he's hated in the UK. He's hated in the UK for some obvious reasons, and I will definitely say it. But for now, you know, the reason why I agreed with that is because that split is because I feel like Kell Brook was the B side. He made bigger names, bigger pay-per-view attractions in the UK, but then again, he's been fighting in the UK for a longer time. Amir Khan comes back to the UK, gives a fight, any name will be a big fight, any name. You know, his name is bigger, is a bigger name. It's just more hated. People will definitely tune in to watch the fight, no doubt. And yeah, the thing about the Wilder and Dillian Whyte is I'm anxious to know how much is Dillian Whyte getting paid. And now you could say I'm contradicting here, but keep in mind I don't feel Kell Brook is the A side against Khan, but I do feel Wilder is the A side against Whyte. Is he getting paid right in terms of that? Like, you see what I'm trying to say? Wilder is definitely the A side. He's the bigger name. He's the one with the title plus is the bigger name. So, you know, I personally think Wilder is the one that's more deserving. Now, initially Wilder is way more of a bigger name, but when you think about it, you could make some case for Whyte. Like, Whyte has 4 better oppositions, you know, and we don't know what Whyte got in his previous fights, so I don't really know. Those things could make a big factor as well. Let's say Deontay Wilder's getting paid $3 million for this, but Dillian Whyte's getting paid $2.5 million, hypothetically, right? And Dillian Whyte got paid, $2.5 million he got paid, he's getting paid, right, in this fight. If Deontay Wilder is getting paid $3 million, let's say he got paid about $400,000 in his last fight, or $400,000 in his highest payday. Let's just hypothetically make it up, right? Because I don't think that's the case, but I'm just saying, if that's the case, right, if he made $400,000 in his highest payday, and he's getting $2.5 million against Deontay Wilder, you could say that's almost a rip-off. It's like Dillian Whyte doesn't deserve that. Now, I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying these sort of things could be happening. So, you know, when Dillian Whyte is giving all these numbers, right, you know, it could be true. The fact could be true. Deontay Wilder might be straight ducking, might be a coward, who knows. But there could be other things to the story as well, and I just don't buy straight into it just because he gave some numbers which make Wilder seem like shit. Wilder might ain't be shit either, because he had 38 fights, right, and he still hasn't fought a top fighter. Like, I know he was supposed to fight Povetkin, and those shit happened, and speaking of Povetkin, this guy's gonna fight again. I feel he's gonna fight, this week or next week? Fuck. Someone retire him, man. How does boxing so corrupt? How do you fail all these drug tests? And has it even been a year since you failed a drug test? Did they even ban you? Even if they did, he hasn't even banned him for a year. Boxing's so corrupt, man. But yeah, Deontay Wilder might have other things, right? It could be Dillian Whyte is right, because Wilder hasn't fought any top fighters, right? So my argument for Dillian Whyte is that Wilder hasn't fought any top fighters, and all of a sudden, Dillian Whyte, who's also probably one of the best opposition that Wilder's going to face, if he would have faced him, and all of a sudden Wilder doesn't want to face him. But on Dillian Whyte's argument, we don't know the other side of the numbers. How much is Whyte getting paid? What's Whyte's last payday? All these things, right? What's his highest payday? And all those things like that. And Dillian Whyte gave Deontay Wilder's last payday, right? Which is against Harold Washington. Or Gerald Washington. People pronounce it differently, but yeah. Maybe that didn't do too well. I don't know about the pay-per-view numbers. I don't see Harold Washington as a huge name, but maybe Deontay Wilder got paid more than that in other fights, so maybe it's that Deontay Wilder got paid more in many other fights. It's just the previous fight they had wasn't all that. And therefore, Team Hearn and Dillian Whyte is trying to show that number where Deontay Wilder didn't do too well, but ignoring the other numbers. You can use numbers to lie. People don't really say numbers don't lie. You can use numbers to lie. For sure, you can use numbers to lie. If you say certain statistic, but you don't mention the other statistics, you can give a false impression. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm not trying to, my first impression was Deontay Wilder should have taken the fight, considering he has a bum-fested resume. But at the same time, I think to myself, I don't know the full story. Because keep in mind, let's say Deontay Wilder got paid in his last 5 fights, hypothetically, right? He got paid $1.5 million, $2 million. I mean, I don't think they were that big. Let's say $1 million, $1.5 million, $1 million, $1.25 million, and then he got paid $900,000. Actually, that's actually pretty similar. 900,000 is pretty similar to 1 million. Yeah, that's a bad example. But let's say Deontay Wilder got paid in his last 5 fights, starting from the oldest to the newest, right? $1.5 million, $2 million, $2.2 million, $1.5 million, and then 900,000. So then pointing out the fact that his last payday was 900,000 is not fair. It's really not fair. But I don't know. I'm not making stuff up. I'm just trying to say that there could be many things to this that we're not getting. But see what I'm trying to say? I don't want to make it. As soon as I see all this, I don't like making a straight judgment unless I know something about them, or unless I've been following them for a long time where they've been following a similar pattern. I'm kind of tempted to make a judgment such as, Deontay Wilder hasn't fought shit. He fought bums his entire career. And that's true, he has twice the amount of fights as Joshua, but couldn't get a top fighter. A little bit of it wasn't his fault. Povetkin and things like that, a little bit here and there. But at the same time, and plus, he had injuries and stuff. But damn, man, he had 38 fights. You couldn't get one top fighter? Not one? That, but at the same time, Eddie Hearn's been full of shit. We know Eddie Hearn, right? He's been lying his ass off. It's insane. He's been lying to the bone. And Eddie Hearn chats shit to the point where if you're a casual fan tuning in, you would, I watch it as a hardcore boxing fan. I've been following Eddie Hearn, and I can tell he's straight up just chatting nonsense, coming out with some bullshit deals on people. Just straight up, credit to him. He does what he does, and he's a promoter. He's supposed to give himself and his fighters the biggest amount of money possible. That's his job, and he's trying to do it well. And when a casual fan tunes it, because a lot of Eddie Hearn's done a great, Eddie Hearn and Sky Sports, they've done a great job, because most of these fans are not, a lot of these fans are not really boxing fans in general. They're really football fans, and they just tune into boxing, and that's how they kind of, a lot of them, I know at least personally, a lot of them got into boxing as a fan like that. They used to watch football, but Sky, they watch a lot of football, but they also show a lot of boxing and things like that. And when they show that, obviously a lot of them is pay-per-view, but they're tempted to buy it. That's just what a lot of people told me. That's how a lot of people got into boxing. They end up being casual fans. And it's very easy to manipulate people like that. When you give us statistics like that, it's easy to manipulate casual fans. And most of the people that buy tickets are casual fans. Eddie Hearn's done a smart job there. He's done a tremendously smart job there. Yeah, man. I'm not just talking about this incident. I'm talking about everything that Eddie Hearn's done. But Yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below. 93 Boxing. I'm out.